and welcome. You're watching the Policy Times Global Innovator and Entrepreneurship Show. This is a show we do every week where we invite and select one of the leading startups or entrepreneurs of the country and across the world whose innovation brings a positive disruption in the society. I'm very happy and delighted to introduce and welcome Nihal Pradeep, who is the Chief Executive Officer, Director, and co-founder of a 4-year-old startup, which is named as Dartle, which is a sports startup, and whose we will know about details about this startup soon from Nihal. Nihal himself is an innovative, visionary innovator, an entrepreneur, a writer, public speaker, and also a sports aspirant. He himself was a ICSC basketball national level player and also a technologist. He has developed Java, Android, Go, PHP, and HTML, many such platforms. So may I welcome Nihal, and thank you so much for joining us in this program. Kindly tell us about yourself and a brief about your startup.
Yes. So, hi everyone. My name is Nihal Pradeep, and of course, I'm the founder and CEO of Dartle. And thank you so much, Mr. Akram, and of course, Dr.P.Sekhar, for having me here on the show. So, to talk about Dartle. So, we are in fact a Kerala-based company, and our vision is in fact to be the change drivers to transform the sporting ecosystem in our country. So what we are doing is we map participatory sporting opportunities to opportunity seekers. In fact, if you look at India, it's not very easy to choose sports as a viable career option. For a fun fact, 62% of people in India, 62% of youth are mad and crazy about sport, but only 1% of them actually end up choosing sports as a career. Now, that is really agonizing because in other countries, this is more like a 1:2 ratio in comparison to India, where it is more like 1:62. So this is because of a lot of unfair trials, a lot of politics in sports, a lot of biased selection. And in fact, another big problem is a lot of these players do not get enough visibility because of a lack of a proper system in place to evaluate these players based on their abilities. And finally, the community support and the support that they get from their parents. The parents do not, in fact, have enough confidence to send them out into a career of sports. In fact, in a research conducted by Haque, they said that about 50% of parents either are unsure or do not want to send their kids into sports. Now, this is where Dartle really comes in. Because what we want to do with Dartle is build an ecosystem for sports that is going to be the change drivers in creating more opportunities in this platform. And at its core, we have a unique assessments model. Now, what this assessments model does is it allows a player to be tested against a certain set of parameters. And these parameters then give the player a score based on how good he is in the sport. This is a validation of how good this player is going to be in the sport. And this unique assessment model is done in such a way that it not only benefits the players, but also becomes an entirely new revenue stream for coaches, referees, or other match officials. Because we have done the model and the assessments in such a way that it can be done by anyone with a valid certification. So the way this assessment works is a player is going to request for an assessment. The coach is we are going to map them to a coach or a referee or a match official. They are going to conduct these tests, publish the results on the platform, and our platform is going to convert them into a more comprehensive score. This score can then be globally used by any player, any coach, any academy, or any team to scout and discover this particular player who has taken this assessments. So this is, in short, a whole gist of what Dartle is about. Yeah.
Thank you, Nihal, for elaborating and presenting it in such a nice manner. What I want to know from you is that sports is a very much physical, thing in nature. So now yours is a digital platform giving opportunities to people or sports persons or sports enthusiasts, uh, a platform to explore opportunities and skills in that. What I want to know that there has been many efforts by at the national or local level. How would your venture shine out and stand out different from many of the existing, physical level sports ecosystems, which have not been very successful in that domain?
Yes. So, like I spoke about Dartle, like I spoke about earlier, Dartle is all about creating that opportunities. And in India, like I said, it's become increasingly difficult because of a lot of reasons: lack of fairness in trials, lack of career opportunities because sports being an unorganized sector, people not getting enough visibility because there is no proper standard in place, and no community support from parents. And this is what Dartle is aiming to change. For that, we have created a platform, an ecosystem where people can come together under a single umbrella to be the transformative change. The one core essence of Dartle is the scouting network, or the assessment model, as we call it, where a user can request an assessment for a coach, and we are mapping them to a coach, and the coach conducts an on-ground physical assessment, maps these results on the platform. The platform then transforms this into a score using an algorithm, and this score can be used to scout a player using micro level filters and elements based on their desired player profiles. So this is the core essence of what Dartle is. And but like I said, it's not limited to just assessments, because we understand that the customers are going to require much more. And it is a plethora of features where players can book grounds, they can they can stream esports, they can book referees and coaches, match officials, book academies and venues. Academies can host online trainings and sessions. Academies can accept bookings and manage their members. Teams can participate in events. And finally, people can engage in peer-to-peer discussions, talk about sports that they love, form fan groups, and keep themselves up to date with the latest news and information. Now, Dartle is not like the other platforms that you see every day, because Dartle is a complete ecosystem. Right from the gray area, from the grassroots, we cater to every entities of the majority of entities in sports. And we help them create opportunities for each other through the platform. And finally, we are very open to the possibilities of collaboration, because we understand that transformation is not a single entity thing. We want more and more people to be part of Dartle, both as a company and as individuals, as we can create strategic alliances to finally crack the code in sports. The whole business model of Dartle revolves around primarily on commissions as well as subscriptions, and finally ad revenue. So we charge commissions on event registrations, on people can host events on our platform, and we take a commission on the registration amount. We also take a commission on the assessments. I mentioned earlier, it was a revenue model for the coaches. So the amount for the assessments are directly transferred to the coaches, and we take a commission out of it. The scouting part of it, where players are discovered, is a subscription model option, where the scouts or teams or academies pay a subscription fee on our platform to access this portal. And we also have an 18 to 15% commission on profile and venue bookings, which includes booking match officials, referees, or turfs. So the in-app ads, currently we are not doing any ads, but as the user base grows, it becomes an exclusive, a niche community for marketers to target very specific type of customers. And the whole journey for Dartle right now is, we want to create a community, build this assessment, create a profile for individuals, and then use video analytics, computer vision, and AI to trace and develop a player's skills, to use data points based on the videos that they upload, and finally give them custom skill-based recommendations at a later point of time, so that they themselves can improve their performance parameters. So we are now in conversation with a company based out of Navi Mumbai for a strategic partnership. Because as Dartle right now, we see a huge, tremendous potential in the growth synergy between Dartle and this company. We are expecting at least 1,000x growth by partnering with them, because they have already a tested and proven model of doing events with over 300 participants and with a loyal customer base. They have done these events. They also have a platform which helps them to facilitate these events. And they also sell merchandise online. They are in partnership with Abhinav Bindra, and in selling Abhinav Bindra's sports medical equipments through their platform. And this synergy is going to significantly cut down on the cost of expansion, and also is giving us the potential to together grow into a much bigger system together. And finally, they also have a validated model, which is one of the core things that I want to point out. They already have a validated model in doing this assessments, in doing the events. And events are a core part of how we can reach out to more sports individuals. And I want to share with you a few of the screens that we currently have on Dartle. So the first one you see on the left is the home page, or how it's going to look. And it's basically about giving people the look and feel about the latest events close to them, the details of for them to keep in touch with their peer groups, for them to share their social feeds. The second one you see is an event. This is how an event would look once it's hosted, and people can host events on our platform, chat with each other. It has an in-app messaging feature. The profile, which tomorrow we believe can be portrayed as a portfolio for sports individuals, and people can choose to take an assessment from there. Their assessment scores would be reflected on the profile, and the details of the assessment can be seen on an independent screen. And finally, they can conduct online live streaming sessions, which can be a training, which can be a live match, and much more. In fact, there are a couple of apps or agencies which, in fact, like you said, try to address this very problem of not being able to, of creating a disruption in the sporting ecosystem. Yeah. Where our product stands out is we have, in fact, targeted a gray area. Now, let me give you an example. Y-Scout is a platform which is used by a lot of companies, a lot of teams, especially some ISL teams, to try to identify talent. So what this platform can do is this platform can look at Nihal and look at some of his videos and match him to a specific requirement. But what Dartle can do is show them 1 million other Nihals, which no other platform in this country is doing. We are creating that visibility without requiring that operational overhead. The model, like I said, incentivizes both the players and the coaches, and we are driving more and more opportunities and more people to take these assessments inherently through the network effects. And this is why we are, in fact, very different from most of the other platforms. And the other platforms, some of them address a very specific problem, but the core issue with the sporting ecosystem is that most of the entities are really scattered. We are bringing them under one umbrella and creating an organized sector. And this is going to be that primary differentiating factor for Dartle, because we are mobilizing people right from the grassroots all the way until retired professionals as well.
Right. Okay. So you're starting from Kerala. You want to explore and experiment the model in Kerala, and then you gradually want to go ahead to other states. Now, can you give us a little account of the journey that you are deciding from where and how you will start, and how do you want to grow and expand your reach to other part of the country? And then, since it's a digital platform, you have the whole world to explore. So how do you want to define your journey and roadmap?
Yes. So in fact, we've decided to start with Kerala because, of course, it is my hometown, and Kerala is known for its desire and passion in sports, especially football and volleyball and cricket. So our starting point is Kerala. The way that we want to progress is we want to validate this model in Kerala through, especially through schools. So our strategy is we are making this a platform which can not only assess a person based on his abilities in sports, but also a measure of how healthy a person is. Because these parameters are a measure of their physical conditions. And especially given the new educational reforms, where sports is being made part of the actual curriculum, we are tying up with schools and trying to capture a significant portion of Kerala. And now we know that this journey cannot be done alone. So we are starting, we are open to partnerships with different entities in sports who are actually trying to solve real problems and have a proven record of solving them. In fact, we are now in conversation with a company based out of Navi Mumbai who's done a lot of events, who have done an event at the scale of about 300 participants per event, and they have already proven that there is in fact a market. And for us, by associating with them, the first thing we're going to get is an access to an already proven model and user base that they have. They are also well endorsed by very popular celebrities, which includes Abhinav Bindra and Vinod Kambli and much, much more. And this is going to be a huge entry point for us because they can use our platform as a model to deliver their already existing successful operations. And Dartle can expand and grow together with this company to capture at much higher pace and quick entry into Navi Mumbai and elsewhere in India. So this is going to be, I see this partnership as having the potential to completely change the scale of our growth. If we are growing at 10x now, with this kind of a strategic partnership, we can completely transition into a 1000x growth company. This is the potential that we are seeing.
Right. Great to hear that. Now, Nihal, you started your career, you were a basketball player. There you became then an engineer, a technologist, and started having a successful career in engineering. Then again, you decided to come back to, sports, to sports entrepreneurship. So you did not want to come back to sports. You wanted to create you want to create an ecosystem where you give chance to millions of kids to explore sports possibilities. Here, what I want to know from you is that to become successful here, you need to have collaborations, partnerships with various institutions and organizations, whether they are stadiums or sports authorities, to regulators, to international organizations, to schools, colleges, and other education institutions. What would be your message to different of these collaborators? How do you want to collaborate or explore collaborations in this complex scenario environment?
Yes. So like I said again, growth is not going to be possible alone. And I realized that firsthand because when I told my coach that I really wanted to be a basketball player, he told me, Nihal, this is not something that you can change alone. When I got into my nationals, I told him I want to take sports professionally. And he told me, you can get a government job with sports, but that's about it. So I went out, talked to people, and I realized there are so many more people with this kind of a dream. And to make this possible, to become that change, to drive that change, I need strategic partnerships. I need people to step in and get on board and row the boat together so that we can reach this destination before the whirlpool and before the storms and covering all of these, reach the other end quicker. So this is going to be a complete journey together because like we said, we are a platform which connects people. So in that aspect, we're very open to having more and more connections and collaborations with different people who are solving real problems in sports. The one that I already mentioned, the company which is in Navi Mumbai. We're also in conversation with a company which provides analytical solutions based out of LIDAR technologies so that we can get real-time analytics on ground. And much more. I see this potential. I see the growth curve can be much steeper with collaboration and in fact with the support for the community and the other stakeholders and of course investors and these institutions also stepping in, because this is going to be a transformative journey. If we want to create India's representation on a global stage to make India successful in the Olympics, in FIFA, in FIBA, in the NBA, or in any popular sport, we need to have people to support us.
Now you're into 4 years of business now in this sector. What are the major challenges and major opportunities you see going forward?
Yeah. So in fact, like I said, ours is that the first platform to come up with a solution which is purely based on network effects, which drives both ends of the supply chain to actually create these opportunities in sports. So it is in fact very challenging, because we are trying to create awareness about the importance of choosing sports as a career, and also about the possibilities, an infinite horizon of possibilities of creating this model. Now, at the same time, COVID has also been a very challenging situation right now, because of how COVID inhibits physical activities, because sports being very physical. COVID has inhibited physical activities, and it has really been challenging, because in 2020, when we were about to release our first beta version, the onset of COVID really took a toll on us. Our progress initially slowed down, but then we realized the delivery model for sports is changing. We can have an online modus operandi, and a lot of people can, in the midst of COVID, can deliver training sessions online, can do online yoga classes, or can do coaching sessions online. Because I've seen a couple of my friends are attending cricket coachings. They are delivering cricket coaching sessions, and Dartle also gives them an opportunity to monetize all this. So this is the angle that we have been taking in COVID, and this has been really challenging. And the opportunity horizon, just by taking assessments today, an assessment is only a measure of how good he is on a physical and performance level. Tomorrow, we can suggest them his best fit areas. Later on, we can create a continuous evaluation program wherein we are doing assessments at regular intervals, which is not only showing the potential of a person at any given point of time, but over a period, and we can create a growth curve. This is also going to be validation for an academy or a coach who's conducting this continuous evaluation, because it is a testament to how good they can aid in the transformational growth of an individual. And then on, we can also partner with B2B companies to explore the opportunities of taking their products to market, or helping them discover talent. And it's an ocean of possibilities. So opportunities I see is going to be tremendous.
Excellent. Now, Nihal, any message that any last message you want to give for your investors, prospective clients, prospective partners, if you would like to convey?
Yeah. So generally, there is a very huge notion in India or elsewhere that India is not the best sports market. Because whenever I talk to people have been telling me, Nihal, you probably put Dartle in the United States or take it to UK. This model is going to be much more successful. But what I want to tell them is, there is no other country like India. You crack the Indian market, and you are going to be diving into, you're going to experience something which can help you grow your business elsewhere with quite ease. And Indian sports trend, yes, was really stagnant a long time ago, but with one of the biggest, not one, but a lot of the biggest players like Reliance and Mahindra investing significantly in sports right now. And with the educational reform as well, like I spoke about earlier, bringing sports into the academics, this is the best time to invest in sports in the country. So to my stakeholders, this is the time to take that baton and run. This is the time to be that change. So tomorrow, the parents of my generation and the next generation can, with confidence, send our child to sports. Help them choose sports as a viable career option. This is my dream. And this is my message to people.
Thank you so much, Nihal. Now, I'll come back to our mentor, our guide who is helping us develop these startups and taking them to global stage, Dr.P.Sekhar. Share your observation and your views on the startup.
Good. Very good to see young Nihal. You know, the very surprising and very enlightening thing about him is generally we believe that a sportsman will never be a good businessman. He has proved that he's a sportsman. He's a technocrat also. He knows technology well, and also he is a potentially a good businessman. Business is yet to start, but the way he has planned, the way he has brought completeness to his thoughts, it is something which shows that he will be a very good success. Second is the objective of this Dartle could go far beyond whatever is being even conceived by him. Today, everybody would like to weigh how their own child is going forward. So it may not be only B2B, it may even be B2C. You know, a mother may like to see how the child is growing, how the child is in various formats in which they are, so that before they put a child in football or cricket or this, they would have an assessment. And it could be absolutely global, which again means that he is almost addressing a 300 million potential bracket from India point of view and almost 10 times on the world point of view. So out of this, of course, let us not be confused by these big numbers. Finally, the number may come to 0.5% of it. Still, it is very big. So Dartle has to be seen properly that yes, every education institution, especially in the new education policy, has made sports as part of the system. And also today, the appreciation by parents for sports is relatively high. And sports should not be seen only from the point of view of medals. Sports should be seen as a point of view of health parameter. A good sportsman is supposed to always have a good health. So that portion of the sports has to be highlighted, and that will almost come as a ready-made marketing tool for somebody like Dartle to go forward and take it international. And since he's coming from Kerala, he should do Kerala and Dubai. Dubai is part of Kerala. Dubai.
Yes, yes.
Kerala Chief Minister is de facto governor of Dubai, okay, or Middle East. So he would have an easy and ready crowd, and of course, nothing to do with the Kerala as a community. We always joke that even when Armstrong landed in Moon, the first person to come was a Keralite giving a cup of tea. So, take advantage of the permeability of your state and permeability of your people, and by that taking it parallelly global would also be good. Of course, you need a lot of certification. You need the customer base, customer certification, and whatever strategic tie-up you are having. Even there again, you should see that it is formed up so that the valuation comes out to be good. Because you will not be able to get the type of money which you are thinking will come because people are not going to easily pay. But valuation will give you compensate what you are saying 100 times, 1,000 times. It's very nice to hear a sportsman talking of 100x and 1000x.
Yeah.
So, it automatically come out to be good to you. And very nice to see an enthusiastic young man trying to do something good for sports, which is well needed by the country. And very good that Akram could select you as also one of the innovative entrepreneurs. And from an IT point of view, from the actual physical point of view, it is good. Congratulations and best wishes from me. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Sekhar. Here we present Mr. Nihal Pradeep, the co-founder of Dartle, a sports ecosystem startup, which is definitely going to positively disrupt the sports ecosystem of India. So if you like the discussion, do subscribe to our channel. And if you, in the end of the program, you see our contact numbers, you can also contact us for any kind of information regarding this startup and our future plan. Thank you. Keep watching the Policy Times.